on what their mission will entail. What do you think they're going there to do?
So, Diane, it's not known, but of course they have a lot of capabilities, both air and ground. It's an amphibious force that's designed to be very self-contained. And what everybody's looking at, of course, is Karg Island. That is the island that the Iranians use to essentially process 90% of their oil. And if we were to take it, then we could potentially use it as a bargaining chip for Iran to reopen the Straits of Hormuz. So that's the concept that could be being planned for right now. There's a lot of risk to it. If they were to do it amphibiously, they would have to actually go through the straits and then transit 300 miles of Iranian Coast Guard coastline, to get there. The other way would be to bring helicopters in. So there's a couple options there, but right now it's unknown what their military task and purpose is for being redirected to the Middle East.
Now, President Trump's demanding other countries help secure the Strait of Hormuz. How would that work?
So it is a significant logistical burden, and on top of the threat, of course, for the U.S. Navy. They could do this in multiple different ways, where we have a ship guarding a ship, we could have convoys, we could have zone, but really it requires more assets to be able to do it effectively and over a long-term period of time. The U.S. could do it, but of course, the more capable naval assets there, the better. But it does not look like countries are willing to get into this, especially considering we're still fighting. Perhaps that will change after the United States stops its military campaign, and then it's just focused on the Straits of Hormuz and getting it back open. But right now, it doesn't look like a lot of countries are interested in becoming involved in the war that the United States and Israel started.
Trump says it'll be bad for NATO if they don't help secure the strait. What do NATO countries need to consider?
It seems to be some kind of threat that the U.S. could, reduce presence, reduce our participation. I don't know. That's not in our interest, of course. NATO, the only time NATO has really been used, at least under Article 5, has been for our benefit. It is continuing to be for our benefit. So I don't think those threats should ever come to fruition. But it is important to point out that it isn't just the United States that gets energy from this region. In fact, the energy goes primarily to the Far East. That's why President Trump has been talking about China and South Korea and Japan. They get more of their energy by percentage from this region than we do. So there is a real, I think, reason for the president to be talking about other countries assisting in opening back up the straits. Perhaps that will be even more once the military campaign comes to an end.
Israel says it's launching limited and targeted ground operations targeting Hezbollah strongholds in southern Lebanon. How significant is that?
Potentially very significant, because what Israel is saying is they, of course, have been dealing with the government of Lebanon and Beirut, but they do not necessarily have control of their country and obviously not total control of Hezbollah. So it looks like Israel is going to obviously occupy this terrain, and there's no end in sight. Until that can be changed, they might permanently be there, at least permanently in the sense that unless Hezbollah has gotten control of and the government of Lebanon takes control of the whole country, it doesn't look like they're going to withdraw. So this could be a long-term occupation, and obviously that'll cause more instability in the Middle East.
All right, Mick Mulroy, thank you.
Since the
All right, Shalom. I'd like to start out by saying, Call Halayim Le Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Harakak Radash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, double honors to our elder apostles as well, and her one, Bunny Yashar, all down here in the lives of Kemp. Salutations to the argument of pushing the truth, sincerity, and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, I'm Khalak Bunny Yashar from the Lions and the Yashar Kemp. This is another Lions Den News and Prophecy. So first off, I want to say Happy New Year. It is officially the new year. The new moon came in last night. This is the first new moon of, I want to say, the spring equinox. So, we're almost at time of the Passover. There's a lot of things that's going on, a lot of things happening. Just chatting with the elder apostle Arwan, and he was talking about how there's supposed to be a comet flying over that's going to light up the night sky right around the time of the Passover. Then you're seeing all these other things that are going on in the world. Wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places. I mean, it's yeah, man, it's taking off big time. All right, so let's get it. It's news and prophecy. Let's get it. It says, Second Ezra 15:1 says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written on paper, for they are faithful and true." Right. So that's all we've been speaking time and time again is prophecy. And we've been saying one of the last prophecies that we're waiting on. First, of course, we're waiting on the Mach B, right? The sea hip to be pushed. And in 2023, they said Klaus Schwab had said that they're pushing an agenda to get everybody sea hipped up by 2026, and we're in 2026. So this could possibly be the year of our salvation. We're really close to it, man. A lot more things are going to happen before this year is out. And so that's what we're doing. We're speaking the words of prophecy in the ears of the people of Yahweh by Shem Yahshua, really to everybody. And those who have ears to hear, they're going to hear. And those who have eyes to see, they're going to see. But everybody else is going to be in disbelief. But that's not going to change what our job is and what we have to do. All right. So this article I'm speaking on, it says deployment of Marines to Middle East raises specter of ground troops in Iran. All right. So what are these soldiers that they're going to send over there? What is their purpose? What is the mission? What's their job? Right. It's obviously to hit. They're putting boots on the ground. You know, if they're taking over that region where majority of the oil production is done is over in Iran, you know, thing about it is the the vast terrain in Iran, like they couldn't. What was it? Afghanistan that they went in? They ain't with nothing but like straight desert, and they couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Take that over. So now imagine a mountainous, hilly, like forest field area, like how Vietnam was. See, they they barking up the wrong tree, pal. And that's how Esau say it. Watch your step, buddy. See, but the pride in Trump, he ain't gonna watch this stuff. He gonna continue. And he's still throwing threats. And you just heard what the dude said. He said, man, those threats shouldn't even come in fruition because like who afraid of the United States? Ain't nobody, man. Listen, ain't nobody can't. America can't do nothing. They can't throw no threats at nobody because they can't throw their weight around any longer. You see that? All right. It says the Pentagon's decision to send the 31st Marine ex, expanded expansionary unit, a 2,200 troop force to the Middle East, is fueling new speculations about whether the conflict with Iran could involve U.S. ground troops, a step that would mark a dramatic escalation and potentially push the already unpopular war into a far more dangerous phase. See that? It's getting hot. Yeah, how about Shimon Shai? What is he doing? Like, because there's another article I got to do a lesson on that it says over 200 troops of U.S. personnel have already been unalived over there. And so what is the Lord doing? You know, the Lord's doing this. He's bringing all of them over there because of why? As Joel 2:20 says, "But I will move far off you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with its face toward the east sea, right, and his hinder parts toward the utmost sea." Right. So basically, he's going to be facing Iran. You know, going towards Iran. But this is the point right here. and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up. Means it's gonna be a lot of dead bodies, man. And the Lord's gonna continue to bring individuals like, you know what I'm saying? Just it's what we're witnessing right now is Armageddon. Or where is it? Hold on. Okay. This is Joel 3:1. It says, "For behold, in those days, in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem." See, all these things that are happening is what? You know, is to turn back our captivity right before our eyes, right? So now, all these nations had a hand on the children of Israel. So the Lord got to punish them. He's judging them. He's bringing everybody to this central region, right, to judge all these nations. And then ultimately, the final judgment is going to be on Babylon the Great. So verse 2, it says, "I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat," Yahweh's Shaphat, meaning Yahweh's judgment, "and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." So the Lord giving them judgment for that. You see that? So of course, they're sending 2,200 troops over there. Of course, they're going to put boots on the ground over there because it's all being done by and orchestrated by Yahweh by Shimei Shai to to show his wrath. All right, it said it could take up to 2 weeks or the end of March before the unit is in place, and its presence unlikely to significantly shift the dynamics of the war on its own. Damn. It says experts say a Marine expeditionary unit (MEU) can deliver an initial surge of troops quickly, but seizing and holding key terrain or sustaining a prolonged fight would almost certainly require a far larger ground force. See that? They can go in there and infiltrate some shit and take some shit out quickly, but to hold something down, you're gonna need to create a stronghold. They're gonna need a lot more troops. See that? See what the Lord is doing? It says experts say the MEU would likely be used to conduct raids across the Iran shoreline to gain a foothold in areas across the crucial oil shipping waterway, the Strait of Hormuz, which has emerged as a contested point of the conflict. All right, so now they're trying to get the ships flowing through the Strait of Hormuz again safely. It says a Quinnipiac University poll from earlier this month showed 74% of registered voters opposed sending U.S. troops into Iran, while 20% supported it. Asked Tuesday if he was afraid of Iran's regime assertion that the U.S. boots on the ground will be another will be another Vietnam. President Trump replied, "No, I am not afraid. I am really not afraid of anything." See his pride. I told y'all. I kept saying this is going to turn into another Vietnam. This is going to turn into another Vietnam. They went in there, what they call them gooks, and when them gooks handed their ass to them. and you got them gooks times 20 because Iran is ready to be suicidal for what they believe in and for fighting back against the devil. You know, it says sailing from the Pacific, it will likely take up to 2 weeks for Marines to be in place in the Middle East. Wait, hold on. Okay. It says, and it's not clear what those troops would be used for. The unit operates as a self-contained sea-based force, essentially a floating hub capable of launching troops, aircrafts, and equipment without relying on nearby bases or infrastructures. Reopening the Strait of Hormuz would unlock a waterway through which 20% of the globe's oil supply transits each day. Its closure has seen gas prices, yes it has, seen gas prices soar and markets roiled. As Trump has referenced shorelines from which the Iranians can attack vessels trans transiting the waterway. So yeah. So anything that's coming through there, they're gonna fire at it. Just like how it's like any boats coming through the Caribbean when they talk about it was a drug campaign against Maduro, they were blowing them up. So now look at it. What goes around comes around. It says now we are pounding that area, that coast, as you know, left side, Trump said Monday. We are pounding it, like really pounding it hard. He has a really small vocabulary. His choice of words be funny sometimes. All right. It says, according to Michael Einstead, a senior fellow at Miss Washington Institute, the MEU could take part of the land-based raids on targets along that coast. There's a number of missions where you can conceivably see an MEU playing a role, either unilaterally or kind of in conjunction with maybe the deployment of larger army units, said Arnstead, who believes the deployment of MEUs are likely related to the strait. So they believe that that's what they're going to do is try to control the coast of the Strait of Hormuz. But what's really happening, what's really going on is that the Lord is bringing a mountain of troops. The valley of decisions. Yahweh's judgment. All right. This is Joel 3 and 11. No, Joel 3 and 10. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's exactly what you're hearing Iran say right now. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together around about. Thither, cause my mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Who are the mighty ones? Those are the holy angels. They're gonna get in the mix too. It said, let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. It says, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, and their wickedness is great. Right. So it's time for Yahweh Shai to tread the wine press. And he said he's gonna tread it alone. All right, so you got, I ain't gonna read this whole thing, but if I remember, I'll put the the link to the article in the description box. But there you have it, man. The Lord is building up all the armies of the earth and putting them in that one central location, so he can judge them there, man. That's going into what? Ezekiel 38 also. All right, Lord, what is lesson edifying and serve its purpose for the hope elect ones who truly believe in the name Yahweh Shema Shai with that, like say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Harakak Wadash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, and double honors to our elder apostles as well, her one Banya Yashar, all down here in the Lions and Camp. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth, sincerity, and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name Yahweh Shema Shai. Shalom.